since LeBron signed with the Lakers in 2018-2019, he's reached the playoffs 4 times. 2019-20 NBA champions, 2020-21 first round exit, 22-23 conference finals, 23-24 first round exit, 24-25 first round exit. I didn't even know they made the play. I thought they were playing in the tournaments those times. Do you consider that successful?
When personalities like Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz weigh in, the discussion stops being just about basketball. It evolves into a cultural debate. This isn't simply wins and losses anymore, it's about power, influence, expectations, and whether one of the most dominant players of his era truly delivered what the Lakers were buying when he arrived. In Los Angeles, where banners define greatness and championships are the ultimate currency, the conversation isn't whether LeBron James was good. The real question is whether he was enough.
For a Laker, it's the lowest level of success.
But you won a championship.
And why doesn't JJ Redick get more smoke?
Because he's only been coaching 2 years.
He's a DEI hire.
Ooh, make that argument.
He didn't earn it. No experience.
Do you think LeBron James' tenure with the Lakers has been a success, or did it fall short of the lofty expectations that come with being called the GOAT? Drop your honest opinion in the comments, we want to hear it.
When the decisions you make, okay, you want to bring in JJ as a coach, you want to hire Bronny, you want to bring in Russell Westbrook. When you win and things go right is when the control is fine.
I agree with you. Now, that's not all situations. LeBron was with the Miami Heat. They were a winning team.
And who had control?
And his
Pat can ride.
Well, the reason why he left is because Pat wasn't giving him the control that he desperately wanted.
From the moment LeBron arrived in Los Angeles, he brought immediate credibility and global attention, but with it came unprecedented expectations. This is a franchise where success isn't measured by playoff appearances or competitive seasons. Here, it's rings, dominance, and sustained excellence. When a generational superstar steps into a team with that kind of history, the expectation isn't contend sometimes, it's win often. That standard has defined the organization for decades, and anything less sparks scrutiny.
With LA, they gave him the keys, obviously, and that's something he wanted. I imagine Cleveland, that's something he wanted. I don't think he was getting that when he was in Miami, and I think that there was some frustration about that. And it seems like Jeannie is frustrated that she gave him the keys and then they only got 1 championship out of it.
At the heart of the debate is a simple but powerful point. Yes, there was a championship and it counts. But critics argue that one title across multiple seasons doesn't match the expectations placed on a player labeled the greatest of all time. The Lakers aren't a rebuilding team, they aren't a small market franchise, and they aren't a feel-good story. They are a team built to compete for titles every single year. When results fall short, the narrative shifts from celebration to accountability.
For a Laker, it's the lowest level of success.
But you won a championship.
Yes,
that's the thing. It's like
Sixers and Knicks, y'all don't count. We talking about Lakers. When you go to LeBron, like when you're LeBron James and you go to the Lakers, think about the legacies, bro.
I get what you're saying.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson.
Continue the narrative that supreme players play for the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
So even if this didn't totally pan out to the degree they would have wanted, it continues the narrative that, hey, the Lakers are the destination.
Most big fish that the Lakers acquire, right? Keyword acquire. So like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, right, the Shaquille O'Neals. Well, Magic was drafted as a rookie, so him and Kobe are a little different. But most big fish that they acquire go to LA and win at least 2, bro.
Supporters remind us that winning even 1 championship in today's NBA is a monumental achievement. The league is deeper, faster, and more competitive than ever before. Dynasties are rare, parity is rising, and super teams no longer guarantee success. But detractors counter that LeBron wasn't judged by normal standards, he was elevated above them. Once the GOAT conversation began, expectations shifted. He wasn't just a great player, he was a reshaping force. Charlamagne and others have framed the debate around control. They argue LeBron didn't just join a team, he reshaped it. Personnel decisions, coaching choices, roster moves, even team culture reportedly shifted around his influence. When a player reaches that level of authority, the stakes change. If his decisions lead to championships, he's praised as a leader. If they don't, that same influence becomes a lightning rod for criticism.
Even though LeBron did get a chip, but it's still like We're bringing in these big names, these super all-star caliber players,
Bro.
and they're not translating.
Roster decisions became a major talking point during LeBron's time with the Lakers. Moves like bringing in veteran players, moving away from younger assets, and prioritizing win-now strategies created a short-term window. That window delivered one championship, but it also limited long-term flexibility. Critics argue this approach mortgaged the future for a moment of glory. Supporters counter that risk, urgency, and commitment are exactly what a championship run requires. The debate remains, was it worth it if sustained success didn't follow? Coaching and leadership added another layer. J.J. Redick stepping into a major role without traditional coaching experience sparked conversations about how opportunities are earned in professional sports. Some argue modern coaching values basketball IQ, communication, and leadership as much as climbing the traditional ladder. Others insist credibility comes from paying dues through assistant roles, development systems, and gradual progression. This tension mirrors a broader league-wide shift. Former players and media figures are moving directly into leadership positions, blurring the line between analysis and authority. Critics see a problem, supporters see evolution. The ultimate question, do results justify the path? Star power versus organizational structure also shaped the debate. In Miami, the culture was built around discipline and hierarchy. Stars adapted to the system. In Los Angeles, critics argue the opposite occurred. The franchise adjusted to LeBron's preferences, giving him unprecedented influence. That distinction matters because it changes how success and failure are assigned. Legacy comparisons deepen the discussion. Michael Jordan's legacy is defined by dominance, perfection in the finals, and controlling an era. LeBron's is defined by longevity, versatility, and adapting across teams. At its core, the debate reflects a larger question: what defines success? Championships alone, cultural impact, longevity, statistical excellence, leadership? For some fans, rings matter most. For others, greatness is measured across a broader spectrum. The finals remain the ultimate measuring stick, and once a player proves capable of dominance, fans expect it forever. Charlamagne's framing captures this frustration. Fans demand results that justify influence, and when results fall short, criticism intensifies. Generational divides also shape the discussion. Older fans compare LeBron's tenure to past dynasties, younger fans value competitiveness, relevance, and individual brilliance alongside championships. That tension makes labeling his time in Los Angeles as a failure controversial, but compelling. Failure isn't always losing, sometimes it's falling short of sky-high expectations. And yet, no player, no matter how great, controls everything. Timing, health, chemistry, and opportunity all matter. What's undeniable is the impact. LeBron transformed the franchise, the city, and the league's narrative. He brought attention, revenue, global relevance, and moments that will live in history. Whether that translates to success depends on how each fan defines the term. The conversation isn't ending anytime soon. As new stars rise and the league evolves, LeBron's tenure will be re-examined again and again. Was it a triumph? Underwhelming? Both at the same time? The story isn't whether he succeeded or failed, it's why his time in Los Angeles sparks such strong reactions. When a player carries the weight of being the greatest, every season becomes a referendum, every decision a headline, and every outcome part of a legacy debated for generations. Legacy debates aren't settled by stats alone, they're shaped by emotion, expectations, and storytelling. Critics argue Jordan defined his teams, supporters say LeBron elevated them. The truth likely sits somewhere in between. But the Lakers' standard complicates everything. This is a franchise where history looms over every season, where past legends delivered multiple titles and created eras of dominance. LeBron wasn't just asked to compete, he was asked to continue a lineage. The bubble championship adds even more nuance. Some dismiss it as an unusual environment that benefited certain teams. Others defend it as one of the most mentally demanding titles ever, played under isolation, pressure, and unprecedented conditions. Officially, it counts, but perception matters just as much as records in legacy discussions. Financial factors fueled criticism as well. When a player commands a massive salary, fans expect immediate results. When those results aren't consistent, the salary becomes a point of debate. Was allocating such a large portion of resources to one player worth it? Or is that simply the cost of securing generational talent? LeBron's influence extended beyond the court. His brand, media presence, and partnerships transformed the Lakers into a global spotlight. Ticket demand surged, international interest grew, and the franchise remained culturally dominant even during inconsistent seasons. Critics argue focus shifted from championships to visibility, supporters argue both can coexist. Modern sports operate at the intersection of competition and entertainment, and few athletes have balanced both as effectively as LeBron. Accountability also loomed large. With his influence so visible, every decision, real or perceived, connected back to him. Success was shared, but failure felt personalized. The playoff record, one championship, a conference finals appearance, and multiple early exits creates a mixed resume. For most franchises, that stretch would be celebrated. For the Lakers, it invites scrutiny. Generational shifts in the league added another layer. Speed, shooting, and youth changed the competitive balance, making sustained dominance harder. Longevity further complicates legacy.